Shalom, Kohala, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that teach 100% truth, that teach and do rule well. Shalom to the Akim, the hopeful elect, that puts their truth with all truth and sincerity. This is your brother Zakar Abban, coming back with another video. All right, I'm gonna just hop right into it in the book of Baruch, chapter 4, and then I will let the video play. It goes into the the slave ship that was called Jesus, man. How ironic, man. And our peoples is very hypnotized to this false image. But anyways, I'm gonna read this. Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh, and the law that endured forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. And that's what happened, man. All right, America was a prison sentence. Okay? We came over here in cargo slave ships. In this video, it's going to go into the whole, slave ship that was called Jesus. And, this was a prison sentence, man. Every time the Israelites, us, coming in reincarnation, with the forefathers went into slavery under the Greeks, the Roman, the Spain, the French, whoever, the Egyptians, you name all the, all the captivities that we was in. Why? Because we broke the law, statutes, commandments. Verse 2, Baruch chapter 4 and verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayst be illuminated.
The first ship that was used to bring Africans from the continent and transport them across the Americas was known as the good ship Jesus. And as Alex Haley said when he did his research for Roots, he said that traditionally, when Africans were loaded on the slave ships, the captain in his log would see to it that the first two people loaded aboard those slave ships were a man and a woman, and they were recorded in the ship's log as Adam and Eve. The first slave ship, the first ship that was used to bring Africans from the continent and transport them across the Americas was known as the good ship Jesus. And as Alex Haley said...
All right, now this is the, for example, Jesus of Lubeck. It said Jesus of Lubeck was a car rack built in the free city of Lubeck in the early 16th century, around 1540. Ship, which had mostly been used for representative purposes, was acquired by Henry V III, King of England, to augment his fleet. The ship saw action during the French invasion of the Isles of Wight in 1545, man. So a lot of these, ships, Salakia, but these ships were named what? Jesus, man. Jesus of Lubeck, English slave ship, 16th century. All right, so, and our people, once again, man, Jake still screaming on this Jesus, and the letter J was not invented, man. That's a Renaissance, word, okay? They came about around the 14th century, I believe. All right, so this is Gian Gorgi Tracino. Not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. 1478-1550 was the first to explicitly distinguish I and J as representing separate sounds. All right, so around, the late 1400s, 1500s, man, the letter J was invented. Okay? So, all right, so this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. Last verse is the point, verse 68, but I got to start from the 15th verse. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord, the voice of the Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All right, so this was a fulfillment of prophecy, man. When it says in the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter, I'm going to grab that right quick. Revelation chapter 11, real quick. And verse 3, and I will give power to my two witnesses, those are two kingdoms, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth, going into 350 years, man. Us being in bondage, okay? And prophecy was fulfilling by us coming in slavery. That's really what they're going into, man. All right, by us going in slavery on cargo slave ships and, being under subjection to the Edomites, the Spaniards, the French, so-called English, that was prophecy being fulfilled, man. It was time for Esau to rule. 3 days clothed in sackcloth, man. You look at some of the slaves, at some of the clothes they was wearing. There's an image on the you can Google it. One older Jake had like a long garment, and it was, sackcloth. We're wearing sackcloth now. Hit the highways and the byways doing the ministry. But it's giving an example. Back to Deuteronomy chapter 28 in verse 68. All right. And it goes into, and the Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again. Egypt represents bondage, with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, literally. All right. For bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, man. No man was going to redeem us. Only Yahweh Shai. All right. He's going to redeem the elect. Starting with the elect. Okay. And, the history, been sold on auction blocks and, just being trampled over, man. Being called bywords and nigga spits, wet bats, tontos, all these, derogatory names that they have for Jake, man, to this very day. Here it is. Here it is. It's 2021, 2 more months, and it'd be so, from this, time is all mixed up, but 2022, right? And, you still got these niggas that still going to church, still screaming on this Jesus, and so, and still not coming to the acknowledgement that their Lord and Savior is Yahweh Shai, man. It's a damn shame, man. With all this pain that, have been brought upon you, man, it's something. All right, but goes into that strong delusion. All right, because it's not time for all Israel to be woken up, only for the elect. Let's get the book of Jeremiah chapter 15 and verse 14. All right, and it reads, and I will make thee to pass with thy enemies into a land which thou knowest not. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, which shall burn upon you. Talking about the nation of Israel, man. This is the land. Once again, America is the prison sentence, man. And this bid that we've been serving is almost up, man. All right, more and more, brothers are seeing chariots in this, in the sky. Brothers are posting, chariots, what, people call so-called UFOs or UAPs or whatever name they got for them, which are chariots of Yahweh Shai, man. It's vehicles. Verse 15, O Yahweh, thou knowest, remember me and visit me, and revenge me of my persecutors. Persecute means pursue. Who has been pursuing Jake, man? It's obvious. All right, there's a particular nation of peoples that has been pursuing you, you so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Hispanics. Take me not away in thy long suffering. Long suffering goes into the patience, man. Know that for thy sake I have suffered rebuke, man. So, for Yahweh Shai, we suffered this. Okay? And it is what it is. We know that, especially in these times, it's going to get even rougher. Jacob trouble is right around the corner, man. We see with all the things that they're implementing that we are very near. All right? The more things get crazier and crazier and more wild, that is a sign that the Most High is on his way, man. All right? I'm going to get the book of Luke. Because, like the Lord said, Yahweh Shai, he said you could discern the face of the sky. You can't discern what time it is. Basically, like you could look and see it's going to rain. It don't got darker and, the clouds coming. You could be like, okay, it's finna be some showers, some thunder and lightnings. But people still can't see that we are at the very end of this kingdom, man. At this rulership. So the book of Luke chapter 12, and I'll start at verse 54. All right, this is the book of Luke, chapter 12, Salaki, verse 56. And it reads, Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time? All right, how is it that you can't tell what time we are in, man? We are heading into some serious times. All right, World War III is brewing. Nations is rising against nations. All right, if you watch the news and, the different apps and the different, news apps on your phones, you can see that missiles been shot off Taiwan and China, going at. I mean, it's just different things that's happening, okay? America's always in something, Babylon the Great. So you can look at the sky and you can see that, it's getting ready to rain once what I said, but you can't see that what times we are heading into, man, what times we are in. Verse 57, Yea, and why even of yourselves judge ye not what is right? When thou goest with thine adversary, to the masquerades as thou art. So like they're going to something else. But they're pretty much a point though, man. All right. To have discernment. To know what times you are in. To be circumspect, man. All right. It's time to get away from the madness and the foolishness. It's time to continue to, grow in this truth, man. Okay. To be grounded. There's no time to be complacent. I'm gonna grab that right quick in the book of Colossians chapter 2 and verse 6. No, verse 7. This is a book of Colossians chapter 2 and verse 7. It reads, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving, man. I'll read it again. Colossians chapter 2 and verse 7. Rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. All right. So we got to be, this is the time to be even more grounded, to be rooted, to continue to meditate, continue to do all you can to make sure that you do not be taken away with the philosophies of this world, man. All right. We don't want to turn our hands from the plow, man. We don't want to, fall away. We want to stay strong in this ministry. All right. You continue to do the work, make our calling and election sure, man. Be diligent. So anyways, I'm in it there. Give our praise to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakah, Dash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that teaching do rule well. Shalom to the Aki on the hope for elect. Shalom, Brakatham, Abba, Babal.